afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4. It was almost 50 degrees in Janesville today.
Wasn't that something? It has been such an unseasonable January. Some people love it, but some people are really missing the snow.
And it's all the big storms on the West Coast that are giving us the warmth, and we'll look into that later in this broadcast. But first, the major airlines are trying to untangle a mess of thousands of delayed flights. And now the FAA is facing questions after an outage forced flights to be grounded nationwide.
New York Republicans in Representative George Santos's district are calling for the embattled freshman's resignation. I'm Skyler Henry on Capitol Hill, where the congressman says he's not going anywhere.
And this weekend, a big win for farmers. They won the right to repair their own John Deere equipment. We'll tell you what this means for local farmers.
Well, let's take a look outside. A good day to take the dogs for a walk, but stay out of the mud.
Yeah.
It's kind of a mess out there. A little colder, but still mild. Greg Barnhart is in the backyard. Well, I'll tell you, for the middle of January, this is something.
It is. You know we'll pay for it later, but eventually we'll get some. But for right now, you can't beat it. Really, skies right now, we're starting to cloud back up. We had clear skies earlier, but those low clouds are beginning to return. You can see them advance further north as the sun's starting to set right now. Also, clouds from the north are starting to advance southward, so those low clouds are going to be coming back in the picture overnight. But we did have some periods of sun this afternoon. Bigger picture, all the precipitation we had last night is pushed off to the north, but we have another weak little system to the northwest coming down, as well as we zoom out eventually, a system that's approaching from the south. Both will have an influence in our weather. Not much in the way of precipitation, more like clouds, but still, I think overall we'll see some differences. Temperatures right now definitely have warm up from yesterday, almost 15 degrees warmer than what we were yesterday. Like he said before, almost 50 degrees in Janesville. They're actually down to 46 right now, but you can zoom in. Overall, to the south, even 80s. They have some severe weather potential tomorrow with the system. Ours, the visibility is also there, but I think we'll see a reduction a little bit in that, but I think more low clouds overnight than we'll see. So travel-wise for tonight, we have some wintry mix coming in towards the morning. Overall, just low clouds and fog. I'll break all that down and exactly how the weekend looks a little bit later in the broadcast.
All right, Greg, we'll see you in just a little bit. First at 4, more than 1,000 flights nationwide were canceled today following a system outage at the FAA that grounded flights coast to coast for hours this morning.
The agency says the delays and cancellations are the result of an outage to its Notice to Air Missions Systems, or NOTAMs. It provides safety information to pilots.
We have a very good air traffic system in this nation, but when we have situations like this, it shows us that we do have vulnerabilities.
The normally busy arrival area at O'Hare International Airport in Chicago was empty because of the delays. While operations have slowly resumed, it will still take a while before things are back to normal. The outage has raised concern about the FAA's technology. Many are questioning why there wasn't a backup in place to prevent the system from grinding to a standstill. And with flights unable to land at their proper locations nationwide, Dane County Airport received 2 planes destined for Minneapolis.
Our Andrew Banstra is standing by live tonight at the airport to give us the conditions right now. Andrew?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And when you look at the board here, you would think maybe it was worse than it actually is. It looks more normal than you might think. I just spoke with an airport official who told me that on the arrivals side of things, they do have quite a bit of delays right now. And that's just because all of the other pieces coming from other connecting locations. But in terms of actual departing flights here at the airport, only about 4 delays that they're seeing right now. A 5th for a mechanical issue, but really not related. So all up and down, things are looking pretty good right now, all things considered. He also told me that things are going more smooth than he would have anticipated at this point in the day, and things seem to be filtering themselves out after the ripple effect that we saw from this morning's issues. We'll have more at 5 and 6. We speak with a Madison family that was trying to get to Jamaica from the airport, and much more coming at 6. For now, in Madison, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Now.
And Andrew, speaking about those flight boards, my husband had a flight at 1 o'clock this afternoon for New York City, which was canceled at 9:30 this morning. He got a text on his phone and said, your flight's been canceled and we rebooked you, but you looked at the flight board and the flight was still good to go.
Right. I mean, that's kind of the piece to it, is that that's the frustrating part, especially for passengers, when, you think you have one thing, like you said, in your instance, you get a text, but then all of a sudden the board might say something else. And, to that point, in a couple days, I'm also flying to Jamaica, just like the family we'll talk about at 6. So, it's a lot of questions. I mean, as a traveler, you kind of think to yourself, what am I going to do? I mean, you kind of feel helpless. So a lot of people feeling that way coast to coast today.
Especially coming on all of the cancellations over the holidays. And I guess the message is, if you get a text from the airline, that text trumps what's on the board.
Check the airline's website specifically for your flight. That said canceled today.
Right.
Andrew, thank you.
Thank you, Andrew.
See you later. Well, farmers across the country are celebrating getting the green light to make their own repairs on equipment purchased from industry leader John Deere. Up until earlier this week, only Deere employees were allowed to make equipment repairs. After years of debate on the issue, members of the American Farm Bureau Federation came to an agreement with the manufacturing company Sunday that gives farmers more choice.
With the price of repair shops and what it costs to get equipment fixed nowadays, anytime farmers can do that work on their own is a cost savings to them.
In some parts of the country, John Deere dealers can be several hours away. So for some farmers, the agreement also means being able to get repairs sooner, saving time and money. With the change, farmers will have access to John Deere's diagnostic tools and product guides to their own solutions to equipment failures.
A Madison teen accused of crashing a stolen vehicle on the Beltline last spring pleaded guilty today. Avion Howard was one of 6 teens arrested in March after crashing a stolen vehicle on the Beltline near the Yahara River Bridge during rush hour traffic. Video of the incident shows multiple teens running in front of oncoming traffic, though no one was hit or injured. 19-year-old Howard pleaded guilty to driving or operating a vehicle without consent and 1 misdemeanor count of resisting an officer. Online court records show the court sentenced Howard to 2 years of probation.
Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin has been released from a hospital in Buffalo after his doctor said they completed a series of tests a little over a week after he went into cardiac arrest and had to be resuscitated during a game at Cincinnati. Hamlin is going home after spending 2 days undergoing tests at Buffalo General Medical Center. He was transferred to Buffalo after spending last week at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, where the 24-year-old experienced what doctors called, quote, a remarkable recovery.
Well, Northern California is back in the crosshairs of a new storm system, bringing another round of heavy rain and wind. Heavy snow is falling in the Sierras, northeast of Sacramento, the latest in a weeks-long barrage of storms that is now blamed for at least 17 deaths since late December. Another double dose of that weather is headed to the San Francisco area. A state of emergency has been declared in Marin County. In Ventura County, cleanup is underway at Molly Englehart's farm, where everything is covered in mud.
It was up to our knees, running over the road. No water for 2 years, and then more water than we got in 2 years and 24 hours is not the business.
Forecasters say there are several more storms lined up off the west coast. They're expected to come ashore over the weekend and extend through Monday. Later on Live at 4, a forecasting expert from UW-Madison will join us. We'll talk about the factors that are driving this extreme weather.
Well, the pressure is rising on embattled Congressman George Santos.
The New York Republican says he will not step down, even after dozens of colleagues called him a disgrace and demanded his resignation.
Skylar Henry reports from Washington.
New York Republicans are calling you a disgrace.
George Santos remained defiant, even after blistering comments from his Republican colleagues in New York.
Will you step down?
I will not. GOP leaders in Santos's Long Island district called on the embattled lawmaker to resign, accusing him of deceiving voters, colleagues, and opponents with a web of lies.
As I said, he's disgraced the House of Representatives, and we do not consider him one of our congresspeople.
Mr. Santos, haven't you done enough harm? I call on Mr. Santos to immediately resign.
Santos was sworn into Congress days ago, even after admitting to fabricating large parts of his resume. lying about his educational, professional, and religious background. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy had been silent on the issue, but now says it's up to the voters to decide Santos's future.
The voters have a voice in the decision. It's not where people pick and choose based upon what somebody's press has.
Would you?
So he will continue to serve.
Even while other House Republicans have expressed concern.
I don't think George Santos should be seated on committees until there's been a full ethics investigation.
The Santos scandal is generating outrage on both sides of the aisle. On Tuesday, Democrats asked the House Ethics Committee to launch an investigation. Congressman Richie Torres and Dan Goldman delivered the request, saying Santos failed to file accurate and complete financial disclosures.
I think when you violate House ethics, you should be held accountable.
While Santos clings to his seat, these New York politicians say they won't associate with him or work with his office in any way. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And Santos is facing both federal and local inquiries into his lies and financial dealings.
And CBS News has confirmed officials in Brazil are pursuing fraud charges from 2008.
Well, documents marked classified discovered at President Biden's former office are drawing criticism and comparisons to the docudrama at President Trump's Florida residence. President Biden responded Tuesday to this discovery of documents marked classified at his former office in Washington, D.C. CBS News has learned the president was informed on November 2nd, the day of the discovery at the Penn Biden Center in Washington. Another source says the documents from the time of his vice presidency had varying levels of classification markings, including some highly classified. Republican lawmakers balked at the discovery.
They've turned over the boxes to the archives, and we're cooperating fully with the review.
The irony, you couldn't write a book about this, right?
And a House committee has launched its own probe asking the White House for all documents from the personal office and a list of who had access to the space. The discovery is drawing comparisons to the investigation into former President Trump's handling of classified documents after he left the White House. In that case, more than 300 documents were seized from Mar-a-Lago after Trump refused multiple requests to hand them over. Democrats say that's not what's happening here.
Well, as we were saying at the top of the show, a lot of people are enjoying this mild January weather, but not so much for snow lovers, and snowmobile clubs are taking a hit. You have to head north to find good snow conditions, and even in the Northwoods, crews are scrambling to clean up debris and keep the trails clean. The DNR has a reminder about safety this season. Last year, there were 16 snowmobile fatalities in Wisconsin. The DNR says there are 3 main reasons that cause most snowmobile accidents.
One is alcohol and drugs, going too fast for conditions, and then operator inexperience.
To combat those fatalities, the DNR is starting a new snowmobile safety campaign called Sled Safe. Snowmobiles are commonly called sleds, of course, and the main purpose of this initiative is to make sure that everybody gets home to their families after enjoying a day on the trails.
Well, as we mentioned, another trying day for airline travelers, and days like these seem to be becoming more frequent.
So what is the best way to deal with these massive delays and cancellations? We'll talk with a Madison travel expert when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
Menopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer are living longer with Kisqali. So long live family time, long live dreams, and long live you. Kisqali is a pill proven to help women live longer when taken with an aromatase inhibitor. And Kisqali helps preserve quality of life, so you're not just living, you're living well. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Long live hugs and kisses. Ask about Kisqali and long live life.
This year, say yes.
I couldn't be more thrilled with my results. I'm over the moon happy. Look at that waist.
yes to confidence.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
Yes to a new shape.
These are my results. I am so happy.
Yes to a new you.
I'm Dr. Elena Vega. Imagine you could remove this much fat from multiple areas all at one time.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good.
I have the flattest tummy that I've had in 25 years.
I'm able to wear things that I never thought I would wear again.
I can wear a little black dress. I feel sexy.
Find out how you can get $250 off with our New Year exclusive offer. Call 1-800-993-0752 or go to sonobello.com.
Madison Magazine's Winter Restaurant Week is here. Participating restaurants will provide 3-course dinners starting at $30. Some restaurants will offer a lunch menu for $20. Featuring wine and more by E&J Gallo Winery. Check out our guide to Restaurant Week online to see which restaurants are offering takeout as well as dine-in. Don't miss Madison Magazine's Winter Restaurant Week 2023. Brought to you by the presenting sponsor, Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund, and supporting sponsor, Bergstrom Madison Chevrolet and Cadillac.
It's Steinhaffel's Winter Mattress Sale. Nestle in for a good night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress. You'll sleep soundly when you pay only $45 per month with Steinhaffel's 72-month financing. Tempur-Pedic mattresses are designed to make aches and pains a thing of the past by relieving pressure points and supporting you as no other mattress can. The Winter Mattress Sale, only at Steinhaffel's and Steinhaffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhaffel's.
Welcome back. Greenhouse gas emissions rose slightly in the U.S. last year.
The researchers attribute the increase to the extra heat needed during the unusually cold winter in most parts of the country as a major contributor of greenhouse gas emissions. It's energy related to carbon dioxide emissions. The good news is the electrical grid is moving in a more climate-friendly direction. According to the report, power plants have been using more natural gas and renewables and less coal.
Another troubling sign of climate change, a new study shows ocean temperatures hit their highest levels on record for the 4th straight year last year.
The study was published today in the journal Advances in Atmospheric Sciences. It found the 5 hottest years for the world's oceans all happened in the past 6 years, and oceans are warming at a faster rate. Oceans are a good indicator of the impact of climate change because they're less affected by seasonal changes and day-to-day weather cycles than air temperatures. They also absorb most of the world's heat. We have a positive story to share in the 608 with you that we first brought you in December. Remits raised a record-setting amount for food pantries last year. You may recall that's the group of volunteers that we featured in Madison who make mittens out of old wool sweaters, and they donate the proceeds. That record-breaking number comes out at $110,840 for last year alone. Since their founding in 2009, they've raised more than $750,000 for local food pantries. And if you'd like to help, they're always in need of wool sweaters to keep making the colorful mittens that you see at more than 30 locations around Dane County. They work year-round for the November to December selling season. If you'd like to help out, just go to channel3000.com to learn more.
Well, Janet Yellen says she plans to stay in her role as Treasury Secretary. The president welcomes that choice, which comes as his administration tries to implement sweeping legislative wins. Some were surprised by her decision to stay since she received criticism for the soaring inflation that plagued much of the administration's second year in office. Many thought that she would be part of the exodus of officials who historically leave at this point during the first term of an administration. But in October, Yellen told CNN she wanted to be a part of the administration's plans to strengthen economic growth and address climate change.
Officials overseeing the bankruptcy of failed cryptocurrency firm FTX have recovered more than $5 billion in cash and other assets. A lawyer for the failed crypto exchange said in court today those assets may be used to help repay creditors. Last month, FTX lawyers submitted filings that showed the company and its affiliates had a total of $1.2 billion in cash. They also said said they had identified more than 9 million creditors, many more than earlier estimates of about 1 million.
Stocks rise as Wall Street prepares for new data showing inflation may be easing. The Dow Industrials added 268 points, ending the day at 33,973. The Nasdaq gained 189, and the S&P 500 was up 50. Well, it's been another day of travel chaos across the country.
As you know, a computer failure this morning canceled thousands of flights across the country.
That's on top of massive flight cancellations over the holidays. So what, if anything, can you do to protect yourself? Ed Manny is the president of Burkhalter Travel. He joins us live from Costa Rica, of all places.
Hi, Ed.
Welcome to you.
Thanks.
You're leading a trip down there?
Yes, I have a very large group down here until the 18th.
Okay, so you're scheduled to flight today, and you hear about this grounding. What do you do?
Well, you pay attention to the airlines apps that most travelers have loaded on their cell phones now, because they'll alert you to what's happening, whether your flight is delayed or whether it's canceled and rebooked. And that way you don't need to go out to the airport 5 hours ahead of your flight that's now 3 hours delayed. Because you didn't know in advance.
I mean, as a traveler, there's nothing you can do about a massive computer failure. That's one of those things that's out of your hands. But in general, it's starting to feel like travel is getting more and more precarious. You know, I don't know, it just seems like it's getting very stressful.
Yeah. Well, the event that happened today is a very rare event. I did a little research, and the last time this happened was over 20 years ago, okay? The FAA system, it's called NOTAM, standing for Notice of Air Missions. And what it does is it alerts pilots to potential hazards that they might encounter on a flight, like weather-related hazards or runways that are under construction or that might be closed or things like that. And the glitch actually happened last night at about 8:30, but the FAA was able to keep everything going because there aren't as many planes in the air, until early morning, but they had a full shutdown, what they call a ground stop, at about 6:30 a.m. our time, Central Time, that lasted 90 minutes. They were up and running again by 8 a.m. our time.
Well, some are questioning why there's not a backup system and why the age of some of these systems that the FAA is using.
Yeah, the FAA system, they've been asking Congress for money to upgrade the system for years. Unfortunately, it hasn't been allocated yet. But after an issue like this today, I think maybe the purse strings will get loosened up a little bit so that they do update the system and have the appropriate backups in place. Right now, the only backups are manual backups.
Is there any incentive if you're a traveler to, rather than book a flight yourself, to go through an organization like yours, use a travel agent? Are there any built-in protections in the event that something like this happens?
Well, not necessarily a built-in protection, but there is an advantage. If you're at the airport and your flight gets canceled or delayed and you're going to miss your connecting flight, okay? It's not only happening to you, it's happening to everybody else on that flight. So you could get in line at a customer service counter at the airport, or you could call a travel advisor and they get you to the front of the line and get you rebooked and everything fixed right away without you waiting in any lines. And by the time you get up to the front, the flight that you wanted is already sold out.
And it doesn't cost you anything to have a travel advisor as well. Ed, enjoy yourself in Costa Rica.
Oh, well, thank you, Mark. I will.
All right.
I will.
And safe travels home. We've got our fingers crossed for you, Ed. Best of luck.
Thank you for being with us today.
Buena vida, as they say down here. Good life.
Thanks, sir. Well, it seems like some teens are spending their days TikToking and Instagramming.
All of this on screen time can lead to some mental health issues. We'll find out what the Seattle School District is doing to try to reverse that trend. That's coming up after Greg's First Warn forecast.
Your family's year-round comfort is our year-round commitment at RG Heating and Air Conditioning. We install quality Trane equipment and service all brands so your home's furnace and AC will perform their best year-round. RG Heating and AC.
These are the faces that smile so wide at the friends and staff who are by their side, where life is lived with a feeling of pride on every bump of life's great ride that comes from the care that sweetens the air that lives in the house that angels built. Attic Angel Community. Independent homes and 4 levels of assisted living built with the help of angels.
Do you have a coffee smile? Drinking coffee causes yellow teeth for thousands of people just like you. And whitening toothpaste just doesn't make those stains go away. Introducing Power Swabs, the first teeth whitening system that lifts coffee stains off your teeth in less than 5 minutes without whitening strips or trays.
The Power Swabs were so easy to use. I don't have to have strips sitting on my face for an hour. I don't have to have a foam tray where I feel like I'm going to gag or I'm going to go play football. I've tried like every over-the-counter whitening because, you know, I'm one of those people that's like obsessed with white teeth.
So with the strips I've used in the past, most of them are like you got to leave it on for 30 minutes and the whole experience is just not comfortable. But with Power Swabs, I just snapped it open and rubbed it on and it was good to go.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab and I just got to rub it on my teeth, and that was it.
The Secret is a tooth detergent and whitening agent developed by Dr. Martin Ginniker that lifts stains off of your teeth. Power Swabs remove stains on natural teeth, veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns. The best part is you just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you'll have whiter teeth. No more sitting at home with a whitening strip or tray in your mouth for 30 minutes twice a day.
When I use these whitening strips, I noticed when I would drink, I would get this crazy sensitivity. It would go right to my brain, and I'm like, I hate this. So why do I have to go through the monstrosity of this pain just because I want to whiten my teeth? With Power Swabs, there was zero sensitivity.
Within the first day with the Power Swab, I noticed there was a difference. I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. Whiten your teeth this new year by ordering Power Swabs and receive up to 50% off the regular price. Yes, 50% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you'll receive a free quick stick pen. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. RG Heating and AC. We'll always treat you like family. Guaranteed.
Take a look at this. A motorcyclist who took Georgia authorities on a wild ride ended up being busted by his own viral videos. First-person video shows the weaving, high-speed chase that led police through 2 counties before the suspect got away on his motorcycle. A sport bike that was so rare, one keen-eyed cop searched a local database and found only one of its kind registered in the area. A clever cop took it a step further, looking at the owner's YouTube videos, where he found the video of the chase posted for all to see. Authorities interviewed the suspect at his home, where he confessed, leading to 12 arrest warrants issued in the case. Remember, the internet is made out of ink.
I know, back in our day when we had all that, we didn't make video of it, so there was no record of that stuff.
Right, exactly.
Now you make
Painted
a record.
a picture on a rock.
Pretty much.
Passed it around. All right, all things must come to an end, but not yet.
Not yet. We still probably got about another week of the mild weather conditions, but we do have some precipitation coming up, and I'll break that down after the break.
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
What? You mean...
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're having the we're getting coverage so we don't have to worry about it conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm Jonathan from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company.
Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. It could be the death of someone you know or a health scare. That's why today could be a great day to call for free information about Colonial Penn's 995 plan. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. This is permanent coverage. Just pay your premiums for lifelong security. The 995 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's locked in for life. Don't put it off. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-290-3399 for your free information and free gift. That's 1-800-290-3399. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-290-3399. 1-800-290-3399. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
All right, team. We got a big project coming up. And it all starts with ordering promotional products.
I'm on it. 4imprint makes it easy to get the logoed products you're looking for. The latest in apparel, drinkware, bags, high-tech items, and more. You can be certain of getting it right at 4imprint.com.
Come on out. I'm on it.
4imprint, for certain.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
And we spoke a lot about the West Coast, but this satellite kind of shows you the massive low pressure that's still sitting out to the west. You can see the huge circulation going on, and actually you can see some of the smaller little circulations rotating around it too. Here's that jet stream that's come up that's pulling that wave of moisture pretty much more towards Northern California. It's going to lift more towards the Pacific Northwest, so it's starting to be a little bit more of a trend for Northern California, but still, there's more waves on the backside of this that are going to come through. The good news with all this pattern is it continues to push that air mass through us. We see split flows here and there, so we don't get the cold air. We get weak systems. A lot of them pass to the south or hit us from the north, but not with much. But the good news is we continue with this mild conditions, and that looks to be the case. If we zoom in, we have two systems we're watching. This one basically is going to track to the south of us over time. We got a little weaker one that's going to head over us in the next 24 hours. Both will cause some weather, mainly just cloud cover for us with a little bit of light precipitation, maybe a brief cool down too as we zoom in. You can kind of see what's going on. So overall, not real significant pattern, but you can see later tonight we're going to start seeing the winds turn back around as that system from the north comes down. You'll notice the one keeps mainly to the south too. So overall we'll see drier conditions, actually cloud cover increase overnight, low clouds, and then potentially for a few flurries or even mixed precipitation as we get closer to Thursday morning. And you can see the rain starting to creep up towards Illinois, but that stays mainly east, and we're on the backside of this through tomorrow, which means we are going to get a little bit of colder air come down, but still seasonable. And then a few showers will develop, especially towards tomorrow evening on the backside of this. Breezy conditions out of the north. The cloud cover will persist. We'll probably see more sun and a change in the pattern a little bit towards Friday. Drier conditions, and then the weekend looks to be fairly dry right now for the most part. Zooming in right now, we'll see temperatures fall off, not too much overnight, around freezing or thereabouts. So that's why we could see some light precipitation as we get towards morning. That could be maybe some light freezing drizzle, flurry activity, something very light. Low clouds, fog, definitely is something to keep an eye of. As we go through tomorrow morning and around until noon, we should see more clouds begin to break up a little bit. A few more showers pop up, but the winds will start picking up. And overall, you see the temperatures compared to the 40s, near 50 that we had yesterday. We're only going to see about the mid-30s. Once again, our average should be about the upper 20s, near 30s, so it's still above average, but it will feel a little colder, especially with the winds. And then towards tomorrow evening, snow. We have to have a potential for some light showers, flurries that could come up, something to keep in mind of. I don't see we'll see too much in the way of that, but something to keep in mind of. Visibility tonight, we might see some potential problems with fog once again. I think by tomorrow morning, we'll start to see the winds pick up. That should mix things up, but I don't think we'll see much in the way of fog by tomorrow, but something to keep in mind of if you're out and about tonight. The next chance of rain, really, we're looking at is towards the weekend. That's Sunday night to Monday morning. That's going to bring a really good wet system up to the area. Once again, it looks like to be on the rain, the warm side, so I don't see snow yet. But as we go to the 10-day, we're going to see more snow coming up towards the later half of next week, and that's when I think we'll start seeing a change in the pattern, I believe, with maybe some accumulating snow. But for the most part, we just got to get through the next few days. But you see almost 50 again on Monday, too. So wow, we got about another week, and then I think, yeah, maybe payback will come, reckoning will come, or something.
There's a lot of winter still to come.
Oh, we still got a couple months, at least.
Right.
We're going to pay the price.
I know, we are. I tell everyone that, too. You know.
Greg, thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
The Seattle School District is suing social media companies, alleging their companies harm students' mental health. Some psychologists agree.
As Vanessa Yurkovich reports, they're seeing a rise in teen addiction and depression stemming from these apps like the popular TikTok.
Money don't jiggle, jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle, wiggle.
In just 5 years, TikTok has amassed more than 1 billion global users.
Cutting up all the veggies that are going to go into the broth.
Eyeballs around the world glued to the endless content and viral videos. How long do you think you spend on TikTok every day?
2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours?
3 to 4 hours.
But last month, the U.S. government, along with more than a dozen states, banned TikTok on most federal devices, citing national security concerns over its Chinese parent company and the possibility it could pressure TikTok to hand over personal data.
Riding in my Fiat.
There is no public evidence the Chinese government has done that, but there is evidence of another risk: social media's impact on mental health, particularly among Gen Z.
Teen depression started to rise after 2012. So did self-harm and suicide.
Dr. Jean Twangy says as smartphones and social media grew, so did the rate of depression among teens, nearly doubling between 2004 and 2019. By that year, 1 in 4 U.S. teen girls had experienced clinical depression, according to Twangy.
So there's pro-anorexia videos. There are videos that instruct people on how to cut themselves. What the algorithm's trying to do is get people to use the app for longer, because that's how the company makes more money.
TikTok, in a statement, said, quote, "One of our most important commitments is supporting the safety and well-being of teens, and we recognize this work is never finished. We continue to focus on robust safety protections for our community while also empowering parents with additional controls for their teens' account through TikTok family pairing." Users of TikTok spent an average of an hour and a half a day on the app last year, more than any other social platform. What is it that keeps you scrolling, even if you know maybe you've spent 1-2 hours on it?
Once you watch the one video, you're like, well, time to watch another. So you just keep doing it. It's like a cycle. You don't realize that the time is passing.
That's exactly what happened to Jerome Yankee.
I'd definitely done all-nighters on TikTok before. I had just been scrolling until the sun came up.
He says he lost sleep, his grades suffered, he lost touch with his friends, he lost his sense of self. In 2021, he deleted the app.
Getting disappointed by my own life is never something I want to be doing, especially when I have the power to change it, but I just wasn't, because I was spending hours on this app.
We have a lot of cool resources that we give to our audience for free, including...
But Hannah Williams proves the positive side of TikTok, allowing her to create a business, Salaried Transparent Street, providing paid transparency to her nearly 1 million followers.
I think TikTok definitely helped just because they have such audience reach potential.
She hopes TikTok's algorithm works in her favor.
Helping people in marginalized communities is the only reason I am doing this. It's my entire mission.
In July, TikTok announced that it would introduce new ways to filter out potentially problematic videos.
It has also recently rolled out a tool that helps people decide in advance how much time they want to spend on the app.
But who regulates that? The user.
You do.
Yeah.
You set your own limits.
Coming up next on Live at 4, the Golden Globes were announced last night, and a few films took a lot of awards. We'll show you the big winners when we come back.
And then coming up next hour at 5, farmers winning the right to repair their John Deere equipment this weekend was a very big deal. Talil Moadine tells us why, coming up tonight at 5.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Did you know that Wisconsin Vision offers telehealth eye exams? I just scheduled my telehealth eye exam easily on their website. Once in store, a tech helps get me started and then pre-checks my eyes. See my eye on the screen? Then I have my telehealth eye exam virtually with a licensed optometrist on the TV.
Everything looks great, Kate. You're going to love your new prescription.
Ask us about our $59 eye exam. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
I'm Rebecca, and you might know me from reality TV. And this was my stubborn body fat that I just couldn't get rid of. But then I went to Sono Bello, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
It is so intensely gratifying for one visit to make this big of a change. It's amazing.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It feels incredible to look down, and it's flat. Thank you again, Sono Bello. I'm so happy.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-800-595-1532 or go to sonobello.com.
I'm a little old to count down the days, but my ski trip to Cascade Mountain with my cousin each year, so much fun. We used to pretend like we were flying. Now, we really do. My dad and my uncle like that we still ski free. But Noah and I, we just have fun. See you there.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
New at 5, after years of needing to go through John Deere to fix broken machinery, farmers may now do it themselves, but a local farmer says it's more complicated than people realize.
Patchy fog is possible again tonight, along with a chance for some flurries, drizzle, or freezing drizzle. Colder weather arrives for a couple of days, but the weekend will be dry and milder. I'll let you know when the next chance for precipitation will be at 5.
And ahead at 6, thousands of grounded flights leave a Madison family without options. We examine how the nationwide halt of air travel has impacted the Semrose vacation plans tonight at 6.
Giving the weather satellite a spin, we end up at LAX. The plane's still on the ground there.
Oh, looks like summer taxiing out. That's a good sign.
61 degrees, dry for now. The rain has let up, but next storm, I guess, hitting more northern California. Yeah, there's a plane going, so good sign.
Good sign.
Well, a year after being taken off the air, the Golden Globes returned to the airwaves last night, honoring the best in film and television.
Everything, everywhere, all at once, and Abbott Elementary won numerous trophies on a night that sought to highlight diversity and inclusion.
Dina Demetrius has all the highlights from Hollywood's big night.
We love comedy and we love TV.
It was a remarkable night for first-time nominees.
I'm in this room full of my heroes.
And Hollywood veterans.
I don't work out, you know what I mean? I can't hold it that long.
As the Golden Globes made a comeback.
It's very gratifying to have this moment.
Angela Bassett took home the award for Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, the first Marvel star to earn a major award.
And we were surrounded each and every day by the light and the spirit of Chadwick Boseman.
Ke Huy Quan and Michelle Yeoh of the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once also won big.
40 years, not letting go of this.
Both Ryan Murphy and Eddie Murphy earned top honors, with the comedian drawing the biggest laughs.
Keep Will Smith's wife's name.
Kate Blanchett was an award winner, as was Evan Peters for his portrayal of Jeffrey Dahmer.
It was a difficult one to make, a difficult one to watch.
The Banshees of Inisherin won for Best Motion Picture Comedy or Musical, while Steven Spielberg's The Fabelmans took home Best Motion Picture Drama.
I'm here because I'm black.
The show, hosted by comedian Gerard Carmichael, also featured a special appearance from Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Dina Demetrius, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And the award for Best Drama Series went to House of Dragons, and actor Kevin Costner won Best Actor in the television series drama for Yellowstone.
Costner was not able to be at the award ceremony because of the flooding that's currently happening in Southern California.
It's one of the first big awards Yellowstone has ever won in 5 years.
Well, they deserve it. It's very popular.
It is. Well, the string of severe weather storms continue to pound California, with more on the way.
We'll find out why this is taking place from a UW climate specialist. He'll join us when Live at 4 continues.
Welcome into your athletic-looking buzz into Madison, Mr. Matt Coupland of Midwest Financial Group. You know, we've had the opportunity to talk about what your business really specializes in over the last year plus. But today, we get to meet Matt's starting lineup of really who takes care of your clients on a daily basis.
Yeah, you know, my team of advisors, we've got Brandon, our chief investment officer, knows, his way in and out when it comes to picking investments and lineups. Eric in our office has extra education, a specialty in helping divorcees. Kurt spends a lot of time helping with Medicare planning, taxation planning, and Nick's had years and years of experience with life insurance and disability and long-term care. So not everybody can know everything. So it's really nice that I can go to those guys. We can go to each other to help our clients.
And he's forgetting one key player, and that's himself. He's very modest, Mr. Matt Coupland, the heart and soul of the Midwest Financial Group team. As far as the clients go, they must feel like they're in really good hands, because no matter what they need help with, you guys have it covered.
Yeah, besides for just those 5 advisors, we've got 2 CPAs, an accountant, we've got a person who specializes just in employee and group benefits for business owners, an amazing administrative team. But when it all comes together, it works. It's pretty amazing. It's really a great team.
Absolutely. And people might not know this. Your office is very specialized in that you offer.
Yeah, we're the only office in the state of Wisconsin that has all of their financial advisors who are certified financial fiduciaries. And that word fiduciary really means that we have to put our clients' interests ahead of our own. And I think that's really important.
Well, the takeaway is clear. When the game's on the line, you can trust Midwest Financial Group. He's Matt Coupland. I'm Emmy Fink, and you are buzzed into Madison.
For back pain, I've always been a take 2 and call in the morning guy. But my new doctor recommended Salon Pass. Without another pill upsetting my stomach, I get powerful, effective, and safe relief. Salon Pass, it's good medicine.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
Like our $9.99 XLNY pizza. It's everything you'd expect from a classic New York-style pizza, hot and fresh out of your oven. Order now at papamurphys.com.
Well, as we showed you earlier, extreme weather conditions continue to lash California.
5 million residents are under flood alerts there, and there is an avalanche risk in mountainous areas.
It's the latest in a series of storms going back to New Year's Eve, known as atmospheric rivers. Derek Hurden is an expert from UW-Madison on forecasting and estimating the intensity of major storm systems. Welcome.
Hi, Derek. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
So, as bad as these storms are, it's not unusual. I mean, maybe the frequency of them, but this happens every year.
Exactly. So these atmospheric river events, this is a term that was coined back in the 1990s in a paper that was done. Didn't really enter the common public consciousness, I think, for about 10 or 15 years ago. But it's becoming more common because these are significant events. They're, in fact, they are starting to rate them on a category scale of 1 to 5, just like we do with hurricanes. So they're not that rare in that they occur in the Pacific Northwest, one about every year in Oregon and Washington. The farther south on the coast you go, the more rare they are. So the LA area, about every 10 years. So the area in between that we're seeing, like Central to Northern California, they get these about every 2 to 3 years. So they're not that unusual, but what's unusual about this event is the number of events that are occurring back to back to back.
And there's still more to come.
And there are still more to come. So we have one that's ongoing right now. In fact, if you look at the satellite imagery, you can see it very clearly, this ribbon of moisture coming up in the Pacific, headed towards the west coast of the United States. And then we'll get about 2 more of these events in the next couple days. The good news is that this pattern is actually not very stable. It's kind of an unstable pattern that we have right out there right now, and that it will break down eventually.
Is this the phenomenon that's known as the Pineapple Express?
Yes, yes. So Pineapple Express is a type of atmospheric river. It has a connection to moisture near Hawaii. So when the jet stream dips down in the Pacific, it kind of taps into this reservoir of very moist air north of the equator. Sometimes it's near Hawaii, and if it taps that moisture near Hawaii, we call that the Pineapple Express.
And the oceans are getting warmer and warmer due to climate change. Is that fueling some of this?
That's very, very true. So for each 1 degree Fahrenheit, we increase the temperature in the atmosphere. It'll hold about 4% more water vapor. So we're about 1.5 or so degrees above normal from the climate standard. We're holding about 4 to 10% more water vapor in the atmosphere, and eventually that water vapor will be wrung out as rainfall along the coast. The real problem is when this weather system, when they move into the mountain areas, because the mountain areas accentuate that rainfall and make it even more efficient to wring out all that moisture, and we get extreme rainfall events like we see.
Could this potentially, though, help California deal with their crippling drought?
It will definitely help the drought somewhat. The problem with the drought is that this is a long-term drought that's going on in the West, and so a single rainfall event or even a couple of rainfall events over a week is not going to alleviate a long-term drought. What you really want is you want multiple rainfall events spread out over time with light to moderate rainfall for many, many months. The whole area is still in a severe to extreme drought, and this will not alleviate that completely. It'll help. The problem with really dry soil is that you get too much rain too fast. It doesn't soak into the soil. It all runs into the rivers and out to the ocean. So what we need is these weather systems to be spaced out a little bit more. And if we keep getting this pattern maybe in the future, later in the next couple months, that will help with the drought somewhat.
Does that impact us at all in the Midwest, this system?
We're actually benefiting from this pattern because all of the weather systems are coming into the West Coast and then kind of moving up to the north. And so the pattern system that's bringing all the rainfall into California is actually what's kind of giving us this kind of mild, dry weather, which, you know, mild and dry is nice unless you're like me and you like to go cross-country skiing.
That's what we've been talking about the entire show, right? Yeah.
There's a lot of winter left.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a lot of winter left, and I'm sure we'll get some snow for us to go cross-country skiing eventually.
Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you much.
Great to see you.
Yep.
And we'll have a final check of our weather coming up after this.
Habitat Restore is full of great finds at great prices for a great cause. With a unique inventory of high-quality, low-cost goods, you can save money and feel good about your purchase. Shop Restore Dane County today.
Hi, I'm Tim O'Brien, owner of The Healthy Place. I'm excited to tell you about our new Wild Theory CBD products that will get you high fives from everyone you know. Wild Theory's new groundbreaking formula has higher levels of the good stuff, and it packs surprising results. Is it legal in Wisconsin? Of course. Is it potent? You bet. Will you love it? I'm sure of it. Stop by one of our Madison locations or visit findyourhealthyplace.com, type in high five, and our website will hook you up.
It's hard being a smoker. I've heard all the lectures.
You know, you shouldn't smoke.
I know all the signs. I've seen all the faces. I know the money it costs me. But that doesn't change the fact that it's hard to quit.
The Wisconsin Tobacco Quit Line. No judgments, just free help and medications. Call the Wisconsin Tobacco Quit Line at 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
If you just want a slice of pizza, you don't buy the whole pie. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why pay for more than you need? Switch to Consumer Cellular and get unlimited talk and text with a flexible data plan starting at just $20 a month, plus the same great coverage as leading carriers for half the cost. You'll also receive 100% U.S.-based award-winning support. Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service again. Plus, AARP members get exclusive discounts. Switch today. Call, go online, or find us at Target.
New at 5, a long-awaited national agreement could save farmers thousands of dollars and give them the ability to fix their broken John Deeres themselves, something they weren't allowed to do for years. A local farmer says that's not the whole story.
Need to know what the traffic is like before you hit the road? Get the Channel 3000 app now, and I'll tell you where the trouble spots are and how to get around them.
The Channel 3000 app. Get it now. Powered by News 3 Now.
Yeah, we're looking at low clouds and fog potentially tonight, so that's your commute tonight. Not too bad this evening. Tomorrow we could still see some wintry mix and fog in the morning. Otherwise, it's going to be slightly cooler tomorrow with dry conditions through at least most of the weekend.
Madison Magazine's Winter Restaurant Week is here. Participating restaurants will provide 3-course dinners starting at $30. Some restaurants will offer a lunch menu for $20. Featuring wine and more by E&J Gallo Winery. Check out our guide to Restaurant Week online to see which restaurants are offering takeout as well as dine-in. Don't miss Madison Magazine's Winter Restaurant Week 2023. Brought to you by the presenting sponsor, Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund, and supporting sponsor, Bergstrom Madison Chevrolet and Cadillac.
We asked people to give their honest feedback on how wrinkles around their eye area and under-eye puffiness looked after trying Tint and Tighten for the first time.
So with foundation, normally it just kind of, you just cover up and conceal things. But with Tint and Tighten, it actually changes the way the skin looks. The lines are actually gone. So you don't get any of that buildup within them and the creases that you normally would see when you wear foundation.
40s was a bit of a shocker for me because 40s, I noticed the skin under my eye is getting very loose. And then 50s hit, and I'm 54, and I really noticed the difference in the firmness of my skin here and especially here. I'm glad there's products like Tint and Tighten out there so that I can just put this on and not worry about what I didn't do in my 40s, my 30s, and my 20s, and it looks like I always have. It's a pleasure, and it's actually a gift for anyone.
Tint and Tighten shrinks under-eye puffiness, smooths out wrinkles and fine lines around the eye area, and provides tinted coverage to hide dark circles and skin imperfections, making you look fresh and younger. Tint and Tighten is the only cosmetic that blends a beautiful tinted cream to cover uneven skin tone and dark circles with silicate technology that smooths out under-eye puffiness and wrinkles, making the skin around your eye area look flawless for up to 8 hours.
I will be turning 59 in June of this year. Using Tint and Tighten, for me, I'm actually very confident right now that my wrinkles won't be as obvious. It is giving me the support that I think reminds me that I'm at my best right now.
Finally, there's a tinted eye cream to cover dark circles and uneven skin tone. And since Tint and Tighten works in 10 minutes and lasts up to 8 hours, you can look your best without getting injections or fillers. Get beautiful, lightweight, tinted coverage, plus that smoother, younger, wrinkle-free look from years past in 10 minutes. A look that will make you feel beautiful and confident. Try it this new year for only $19.95. Plus, get free shipping and handling. Visit tintandtighten.com or call the number on your screen.
In today's Final Touch, it's the annual Christmas tree burn in Gladwin, Pennsylvania.
It does more than a way to get rid of Christmas trees. It also stokes the flames of togetherness for this community. The tree burning fans the flames of fellowship and casts a light from the darkness in this world. That's according to the organizers anyway. One by one, big and small Christmas trees and wreaths were placed in a pile at St. Christopher's Episcopal Church to become the conduits of light. Some even placed prayers in a pile as a way to lift them up above. Reverend Dr. Hillary Raining says this ancient tradition, which the church has done for the past 8 years, is a favorite for parishioners and people in the community. And a way to get rid of old Christmas trees. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you back here again tomorrow.